Something has woken me up, and I can't figure out what it is. I'm so used to the sound of the island by now. Waves crashing in and out, the yelling and the sounds of the occasional cat fight that no longer disturb my sleep. Whatever it is, it seems to have stopped, so I bring my blanket up to my chin and allow my eyes to close. The sound of the waves get fainter and my mind drifts further and further away into the land of sleep. Suddenly I'm awake again. I hear some strange coming from somewhere nearby. From my very tent, in fact. Sounds like scratching. I strain to make out what it is. It's familiar, but uncommon. Like a pen on rough paper? Not a pen exactly. A quill, perhaps? I sit up abruptly and I find myself sitting alone in my tightly fastened tent. I reach for my torch to take a better look around and realize that I've been holding something in my fist. I don't remember grabbing anything. It's a folded piece of paper. I open it, slowly, wary of what it might be. I must have written a note to remind myself of something, then I forgot that I've even written it. This place certainly messes with your mind. I look at the elaborate swirling cursive that definitely is not my handwriting. Do you need some assistance, SH? Who's SH? I do a mental rundown of everyone on the island with the initials don't fit anyone. Maybe it means shh, as in keep quiet. But even so, assistance with what? I stare at the piece of paper for a while, and I wonder who could have slipped it in my hand while I was sleeping, and more importantly, why. I scrutinize the handwriting. It's unusual and beautiful. Normally, I would think it was some kind of practical joke, but it has been written by someone with such a deft hand that I cannot imagine anyone here being capable of this class of penmanship. It has been written by an artiste. Why would anyone assume that I need assistance with something? In spite of myself, I begin to drift back to sleep. Well, do you need assistance? I'm sorry, what? Who are you? I take out the catalog and try to scan the mysterious cat. No data available. Who am I? If I might be permitted to make the introductions, Dr. Dr. John K. Watson. Most happy to make your acquaintance. He holds out his little paw for me to shake. Hello? And this is the legendary Sherlock C. Holmes at your service. Sherlock doesn't even look at me. I think his ego may be bruised because I did not instantly recognize him. We're here to help. Help who? Why, you, of course. Oh, I wasn't aware I needed help. If you do not see that you are in need... God damn it. If you do not see that you are not equipped to help yourself, I put it to you that you are in more need of our help than was previously understood. Wow, I finally did it. Finally, without fucking up. He's rarely wrong, so yes or no? Yes, I do need assistance. Maybe? Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Can't. Alright, give me a second here because I gotta pull shit back up now. Allow me to alleviate. It, it has come to my attention that you are interested in finding out more of the true nature of this island. That is a good thing. It indicates that you may not be quite as stupid as you look. Now, really, Holmes, I wouldn't ask you not to insult our clients. Oh, I do not mean to insult them. Surely, even they are not so stupid that they do not know on how stupid they are. As I was saying, my interest has become sufficiently aroused to prompt me to agree to aid you in your endeavors to unravel this little mystery that you have stumbled upon. Clearly, we cannot do all the hard work for you, but we shall assist you to the best of our abilities, my ability being far more useful than that of my colleague here, obviously. Now, Holmes, really, what my good friend here is trying to say is that we are at your service and shall do our best to help you find the answers you seek to the problem you seek to the questions you ask. Well, I suppose that's very nice of you. But before we go any further, who sent you? Sherlock and Watson share an inscrutable look. You really must focus on asking the right questions if we are to make any progress. I shall appear with intelligence shortly. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning! I sit up in bed again. Zane is calling through the tent flap. Or should I say good afternoon? Crumbs, I've overslept. Yay! Elementary number 2. Why is my thingy not doing? Today it's off to the beach to tag some cats. Here, kitty kitty. Sorry. Here, kitty kitty. I'm out tagging and scanning rotation. The sun begins to set, and the beach is colder. This is hunting time. So in theory, more cats will be drawn out from their hidey holes. The other time for tagging is midday when they're all lazy, but I find the heat too intense to come to this part of the island at the time. Something catches my eye and leads me into the forest. Ooh, here, kitty kitty. Just me. Oh, hi, Kibbles. How's it going? Define it. Ooh, what's that thing? Kibbles already eyeing my chipping pen. Looks like a weapon. Is it a weapon? No. Well, kind of. Do you want me to show you how it works? Kibbles gives me an aspirated look. How dumb do you think I am, human? Look, if you're gonna do me a huge favor, if you'll just let me use the thing on you. Oh yeah? Yes, I don't think I could actually tag you twice. I just need the practice I can get. Well then, catch me if you can. I hear meow echoing through the forest as Kibble seems to disappear before my very eyes. Impressive. How did you do that, Kibbles? Come back. I won't shoot you, okay? I'll need you to have a go if you want me to show you how. If you could show me how you disappeared so fast. Question mark. He won't come back now. The new voice startles me. He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel. I turned to see a mid-sized brown-haired cat scratching at the trunk of a tree. Oh, hello. I don't think we've met before. My name is... I know who you are, Turntail. The island is buzzing with news about you. Turntail? What does that mean? I realize I'm going to have to scan her. Kibbles leaps out of nowhere and pins a new cat to the floor. Shoot her! Sorry. This won't hurt. It's for your own good. It's so we can make sure that you stay safe and healthy, and... I seize my opportunity and move fast. I already grabbed the scruff of her neck. Before I'm finished speaking, I press the pen between her shoulder blades and release the microchip. There! All done! That wasn't so bad, was it? Whoa! Awesome! Can I shoot the next one? I doubt that, Kibbles. Ow. I wiggle my thumbs his direction. Oh man, I gotta get me some of those. Can I get up now? I have things to do. Kibbles? He remains pinned to the other cat. I reach for the spray bottle in my pocket, and he leaps away with a laugh. Off you go then, to do your thing. Anything I can help you with? No, just duties. I must get everything done. Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to enter the data for you in this catalog. How about we call you B? B? Because you're so busy? Busy B. Look! Because you're so busy. Busy B. Look, B. It'd be good if you could... If I could get you to come to the camp to check you over and make a note of your details. If you want to drop by when you're free, that would be great. Otherwise, I have to come back here with a cat carrier. Not so great. I'll come by. I know the place. The cat slinks off. Do you know her, Kibbles? Kibbles emerges from his hiding place in a tree. Yeah, I know. Is she okay? She seems a bit unhappy. Oh, she's fine. She's just like you, is all. Like me? What do you mean? You're the scientist. You work it out. Kibbles vanishes again. Oh, that's a new cat. Do a little bit of recon. Recon 8. I've got the focus of finding an antidote. It's time to run some tests on myself and get things moving faster. I'm running out of time. I've been devoting all the time I can spare to work on an antidote for the cattification process. Though it's not an entire failure, the progress is slow, and I am concerned that I may be running out of time. This time I did some testing myself to record how the virus is progressing in me and what effects it will have on my body. That should give me some idea on how much time I have left before it becomes too difficult to hide the problems from other people. I sneak around in the middle of the night because I can't risk being found out by Professor Purple or the Marigolds. The only person likely to check up on what I'm doing at this hour is Zane, the security guard, and I'm confident he won't have a clue what any of this stuff means. I start by taking my own blood, never an easy thing to do, but trying to find a vein when you're also trying not to look very much is very much tricky indeed. It takes several missed stabs before I get it right, and I take much as I dare without making myself feel woozy. I take saliva swabs from inside my mouth, inside my nostril, inside my ears, and finally my groin area. Each sealing the swab in the tube, labeling them 007. Corny, I know, but it makes me smile. I'm also pretty certain no one will pay me much attention to the numbers. Everything is numbered around here, so you tend to go blind to any number that isn't in the particular one that you're looking for. Next, I tweeze out individual hairs from my head, eyebrows, arms, legs, and groins. Each hair is prepared and placed into a microscope slide. Finally, I take clippings from my fingers and toenails and prepare into slides. I put into test tubes for testing reactively to various agents. I'm quite sleepy by the time I prepared all my specimens. I'm starting to think maybe I should freeze this lot and call it a night when I hear something moving around outside. I go to poke my head outside, but it's too dark to see anything. Hello? Nothing. Is someone there? Do you want something? The place can be very creepy at times. The little diversion would make me feel much alert, and with my second wind, I decide to press on with my testing. I work steadily for the next hour and a half before I draw any conclusion. The short-term test results indicate not much has changed from the last time I did this. Clearly, I'm not progressing very fast, which is a big relief. However, I can see some marking changes from before. Mostly they are based on the rate of cell growth and movement within the nail clippings and hair samples. Everything is growing more quickly. I'm a little disappointed not to see anything more information, but I do remind myself to be careful what I wish for. I place the long-term test results at the back of the specimen fridge, and I will check upon them in 24 hours. There's not much else I can do now. I clear away the equipment that I've used, leaving the place in the exact condition I found it, and even Miss Marigold wouldn't expect I've been here. I'm just heading to my tent when I hear a noise come from behind me, from inside the lab. I walk back and call from outside. Who's in there? Silence. Have security with me. I hear how ridiculous this sounds, and I curse myself for being idiotic. I walk back into the lab and put the main light on, and I'm starting to see the tests I put in the fridge out on the lab table. I have no idea what to do, so I just put them back in the fridge. But this time I used the padlock on the fridge door. No one ever bothers with it, and I often wonder why it's even here. I don't want someone getting at my blood samples. I'm too freaked out to think straight. Now, I need to get to bed and get to bed. I turn towards my tent. There's a huge dark outline of a man in my path. Insane. Evening? Evening. Working? Yeah? Doing security? Yep. Good night, then. Good night. As he turns and walks away, I can catch him say, almost in a whisper, there's a monthly stock take of the fridge tomorrow morning. I turn to ask what he means, but he's already gone. I realize I'm being given a helpful hand, so I go back to the fridge and get my samples. I take them to my tent and see if I can't grab some ice from the mess kitchen on the way. Yay, recon now! I don't know why I'm doing this voice, but it helps. It's annoying as fuck. I know my morning alarm is ringing, but I can barely lift my eyelids. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to today or dreaming it. I promise to go in 2 hours early to help with the monthly inventory and the deep cleanse of the lab. It's not like the work I'm anxious about, but the fact I'm doing it with the marigolds. They're an odd pair. They certainly don't say much, and I quite often feel like they're judging me. Oh well, the sooner I get there, the sooner it'll be over. As I approach the lab, I could hear the voices raised in stage-tight whispers. They're obviously having a row that they don't want anyone else to hear. I loiter around for a few minutes, see if I can pick up any tidbits that would be helpful. I'm not nosy, just curious. It's a cat, Mason, okay? A cat. All it cares about is sleeping and eating. It's still a living thing, Mora. A living thing. It's a glorified vermin, that's what it is. You're putting us at risk. He isn't a sort of person to mess with, Mason. Loyalty to the companion is the #1 priority in their eyes. I have been loyal. It's my allegiance that is changing, not my loyalty. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? Allegiance to who? A bunch of cats? Mora. You know that they're not just cats. You knew when you signed our contracts. Not fully. It's different anyway. In real life, living with them, knowing them. Knowing them? You know what I mean. I know if you mess this up, we'll be destituted, at best. I feel I can't put this off much longer. Ahem. Good morning. Ah, you're here. I'm not in late, am I? No, not at all. We were just discussing how to proceed. They exchanged glances. You two can get on with the stock check. Leave the sanitation to me. Sounds good to me. Where do we... Sounds good to me. Where do we begin, Mr. Marigold? Call me Mason. I have a list here. So I'll call the item. You have to tell me on how many we have. Okay, Mason. If I'm in your way, just let me know. Mrs. Marigold. Yes, I'll be sure to. But if we each mind our own business, well, I'm sure that it would work out fine, dear. The tension in the air is tangible. It could be a very long 2 hours. We start at the top of the shelf of the large metal cabinet. Standard test tubes. 20 boxes. Petri dishes. 10 boxes. Mixed sizes. Beakers, large. 25. Beakers, medium. 20. Only 20, that's a bit low. Have we had more breakages than usual? I decide not to tell him that I sometimes use them as my tea mugs. And they are at least 3 in my tank, growing mold as we speak. Oh, sorry, that's funny. Yes! We've all been a bit clumsy lately. I know one was knocked off the counter by McMurphy this week. Nothing but trouble, them cats! Miss Marigold continues with the stock take. As though she didn't hear his wife, we move on to the next shelf and the next until we're almost finished with the entire inventory. We're coming to the end of the drug cabinet. Ketamine, 50 milliliters. 8 bottles. That can't be right. It says here that we normally stock 30. See for yourself. 2. See for yourself. 2, 4, 6, 8. Do you use a lot of it then? No, on the contrary, it's mostly used for anesthesize. Oh my god, I can't say the fucking word. Anesthetizing. There we go. We rarely do the anesthetizing. We rarely do that. We rarely do that kind of surgery. Well, that's a mystery. I wonder what it could be used for. You'll two be a lot quicker if you stick to your counting and leave the wondering up to the professor. We finished the Russia job without any unnecessary chat. We all seem to be deep in our own thoughts. Mine's about where the amount of ketamine might be disappearing to and for what purpose. Suddenly, I don't feel too good. It is funny. Alright. Let's do an extra. Sherlock! Dude. I am woken by the sound of music filling my tent. Music? What the? I grab my torch and fill the tent with a bright light. I see a bizarre spectacle of a cat in a cave in a deerstalker hat playing a violin. This is too weird, even for this island. Be quiet! You're gonna wake the whole camp! I'm afraid he can't stop until he's completed the entire coda. OCD, you know. But why is he playing in my tent in the middle of the night? It's what he does. Well, can't he do it elsewhere? It's what he does when he's near to working something out. On the edge of the precipice of enlightenment. God damn it, I'm beginning to sound like him. Now what does that have to do with me? It's your little mystery he's working on. At that moment, the music ends with a flourish, and I began clapping instinctively. I stopped, irritated with myself for encouraging him. Sherlock takes a little bow. I haven't. Why the fuck did I make him sound like Fat Albert? Hey, hey, hey. There. That's what he's going to do. He's going to sound like Fat fucking Albert. Hey. Have what? Come. Close shoes outside. Hey. And he's gone. You best get dressed and meet us outside. I do as I'm told, cursing myself for going along with this nonsense in the middle of the night. I have work tomorrow. When we reconvene outside in the cold of night, Sherlock's pacing up and down, flinging his little cat arms around as though he was conducting an orchestra. I lean closer to Watson and whisper so that only he can hear. What is he doing now? He whispers back. Help something? Can we just get on with it, please? Follow. He struts off towards the back of the labs. We come to a hole at the incinerator pits. Regard, if you will, the small white particles of grit on the epicenter of the incinerator. Resistance to total cremation. The remains of teeth, possibly. Before we can comment, he's striding off again. Bear with him. It's usually worth it. I trapezed behind him until we stopped again. This time we're outside Professor Purpall's tent. We need to be stealthy. What I want you to see lies within. We can't go into Professor's tent. He's in there sleeping. Ugh. My powers of stealth are beyond what is an acceptable range of normal feline or any animal for that matter. I have trained to be the highest level in the artwork of Kakage. Fucking karate. Oh my god. Kakate. Karate. No, karate has an R in it. Kakati. For many years I studied under... Oh, just get on with it before he wakes up. You're going to carry on. You're going to carry the can. Do you understand? My dear child, I do understand the greatest problems proposed to mankind, to humankind. The greatest thinkers, I doubt I shall be taxed by this nincompoop of your calibre. Now, Holmes, be nice and be quick, I might add. The client's teeth are chattering.
Actually, stop.
I'm taken aback by my own forcefulness. Even the great Holmes stops in his tracks.
I want you to come back to my tent right now and explain whatever it is.
I want
you to come back to my tent right now and explain to me whatever it is. It that you think. You know, no more of this just theatrical showing off. Just tell me, like a normal person, or cat. As you
wish, but it won't be nearly so. It's my turn to stride off and leave him mid-sentence. Where we settle back in the warmth, Sherlock has re-inflated his ego. I have a theory until it is proven. That is all a theory about what this island is for. A secret. It keeps or secrets if my deductions prove true. I am very tired. Sorry.
I am very tired. Could you please just tell me your theories so we can all go back to bed?
I'm still working on the individual components of the larger picture. However, for this evening, to whet your appetite, I shall disclose and leave you with this. There are deviants that walk this earth under the guise of normality, whose arbitrations, if exposed, would shock you to your core.
Okay.
I intend to prove that this very island is home to one of those who practices are not only unlawful but also unthinkable.
When are you actually going to tell me anything, Sherlock?
Yes, Holmes. Come now. We need to get along. I refuse to be rushed and bullied in this vulgar way.
We just want you to say something of significance that makes some sense.
Human sacrifice. Well, that shut us up. I wait for him to continue, but of course, he strings it out as long as possible for dramatic effect. Sorry. This fucking whole side quest is fucking hilarious. I can't do the fucking voice. Give me a second here. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Oh. The offering of human babies in sacrifice is an ancient practice. The demand for virgin blood by the dark gods is widely recognized as...
Sorry to interrupt you in full flow, but are you saying that there's sacrificial roads going on here right under my nose that I haven't even noticed?
Why would you not have noticed what's right under your nose? Be noteworthy. May I remind you that I needed to point out to you the human teeth are in the incinerator, a place you inspect daily.
Exactly, Holmes. I tend those pits as part of my daily routine, so I know them inside and out. What are you referring to? Teeth are actually small pebbles that cling to the root of plant samples we burn after testing. Pebbles don't burn. In fact, they collect and alter the temperatures of the incinerator So we have to clear them out twice a week.
Sherlock is uncharacteristically quiet. Watson looks deeply embarrassed.
Now, unless you have any other ridiculous notations you would like to share with the group, I suggest we all say night-night. Good night.
You have no idea the dangers your ignorance place you in. I shall not be deterred by your lack of cooperation, but I shall return shortly with irrefutable evidence. Good evening.
I shall call for you if I need you.
I'm sorry for the, everything, really. We'll wait to hear from you. Adieu.
Yeah.
Elementary 3. It is cute. Hey, lol. Date him. Yeah, I would love to date Sherlock, but I don't think it's actually gonna show. Yeah, let's actually rest. You have a lovely nap and feeling revitalized. Your energy has been restored. Magic. Hey. I'm bad over. Hey. Alright, I want to do one more. I want to do one more of the. Yeah. I'm coming to the end of my field work today. It's been a long morning that has taken me close to the opposite end of the island. I don't often get out this far, so I decided to take a break here and eat my lunch. I'm just relaxing with my tuna wrap and the apple juice when the peace and quiet that is disrupted by a familiar sound of violins.
Sherlock? Is that you?
Watson pokes his head out from beneath a rock I'm leaning against. You're quite far from home today. Aren't you nervous, being so close to the enemy?
Oh, really, Watson? I thought it'd be better of you. You sound like you've been spreading time with Floofy, but the original Elder Cats are not the enemy.
No? Are they your friend?
Well, no, not exactly. But that's only because they're understandably suspicious of why we're here on their island.
Your first error, my dear child. Yeah, stop playing this violin and designed to join us. What?
Oh my god.
What?
Hello, Holmes.
By what evidence do you deduce that is their island?
They were here first.
And what? And do you know that now? How? Quite. You jump to enormous conclusions based on your assumptions and zero factual verification.
I am not in the mood for him today. Either make him wind his neck in, or I may have to muzzle him.
Try to be patient. He means well. He's just not very socialized.
Okay, come on then, Sherlock. Let's hear it. What do you have for me?
I have devoted myself to the task of unraveling your problem, and I believe I am on the point of denouement? Denouncement? Denouement.
Plain English, please.
He's about to reveal all. What an extraordinary fitting backdrop for the staging of this revelation. You see over here, the shadow cast against the rocks? He's pointing to the direction of the Elder Territory. I screwed my eyes against the glare of the sun that looks at the wall of gray rocks in the distance. He's right. I can make out the shadows of a giant cat statue that sits in the middle of the danger zone.
So, that's always been there. You are hardly close disclosing any groundbreaking development.
Ah, contraire, my dear. It cannot. Always has been there. Someone must have put it there.
Well, yes, long before any of us arrived. Believe me, no one would like to understand how it got there and what it signifies more than me, but unless we find a way to communicate with the elders, it's gonna remain a mystery.
And that is my stock in trade.
Well, go on then, tell all.
I continue with my lunch. It's very simple, actually. The statue of Basset, your goddess, was erected by your leader, or rather by one of his minions, under his direction. I stop eating. Our what?
Our what? By who? Watson, help us out here before we lose patience.
I think what my learned friend is trying to tell you is that you're all in a cult, and Professor Purpaw is the charismatic leader. There's a moment of silence, nobody moves, until it's broken by a sudden burst of laughter.
A cult?
Not just a cult, but a precise the cult of Basset, a female goddess of Egypt. I find it hard to breathe for laughing.
And who's in this cult, and why?
I just look over. I was imagining, hey, I'm Sherlock Holmes. You gonna eat that donut? Let's solve a mystery, y'all. All of you, of course, each seeking out a place to belong, each running away from something.
Such as?
Take a look, if you will, at the containers that you've been filling all morning.
Plant samples? Yes.
And you'll be taking these plant samples too?
The marigolds. Look, you obviously know all this already. So shall we cut the chase and you tell me what you think you know about Mr. and Mrs. Marigold?
Clearly, I will have to spell it out for you. It is my belief that they have had to seek protection and concealment on this island from both the authorities and rival drug barons. Oh, Jesus. I look over at Mr. Watson for some sign of sanity, but he has buried his head in his paws and obviously thinks the same as me.
The marigolds are what? Drug dealers?
They are in the business of manufacturing and distributing illegal mind-altering substances, or at least they were until something drove them out of business and forced them to begin again here. The professor has taken them in and now puts them to work for him in exchange for his silence.
However did you come up with this in the first place?
Exactly, my dear. Just look at the evidence in front of you. They are cultivating a herb garden under your nose. The professor has you believe whatever he chooses.
Right, I've had enough of you and your crackpot ideas. Take your little violin and go fiddle elsewhere, Sherlock, before I
can tell you are in no mood to open your mind and take seriously the proposals I have put forth, so I will take my leave of you. But in my absence, ponder this. When you are engaged in chance-inducing maneuvers, your leader trains you in daily. Can you be sure he's not gaining control of your mind, body, and spirit? Oh my god! Yoga! He's been teaching us yoga! He's already gone, I shout to an empty space. I can only apologize and ask that you don't think too harshly of him. How
do you do it, Watson? How do you put up with him?
I suppose I care for him rather deeply. Good day. Feel a little ashamed for not caring a bit more than I do. Gonna get me a drink here. Oh, jeez. God damn, there's a lot of reading in this one. I've been helping out with the deliveries this morning. There was only 3 boxes left, which I attempt to carry in one run, so the final box is perched precariously on top of the other 2. Bob recommends I only take 2 at a time, but I want to get on with other things. I inch my way blindly along the jetty path, regretting my impatience, when suddenly something flies out of nowhere. All 3 boxes go scattering in front of me, tripping me up in the bargain.
What the?
Are you
bound?
before me? I know who that infuriating voice belongs to before I look up.
Sherlock, what are you doing? You scared me half to death.
Allow me to help you up. We are most terribly sorry.
Thank you. I'm sure you are, Watson, but I find it hard to believe that he understands what sorry feels like.
Sorry is a word, my dear. You cannot feel a word. He's about to launch into one of his rhetoric marathons, so I interrupt him before it is too late. He's like a juggernaut, very difficult to stop once it's at full speed.
Never mind all that. Why are you here? I didn't call for you. Exactly. You didn't.
Exactly. You didn't call, so I need to come unannounced. I have a new breakthrough.
Really?
I have been rummaging. The picture is becoming clearer. More of the dots are joining. This great jigsaw that is overwhelming you has found another piece. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a corner piece. He's so infuriating. Are you saying that you found something out? Well, indeed. I'm not sure. Something highly significant has come to me.
Oh?
Don't get your hopes up.
In a dream? Oh.
Yes, afraid so. The greatest thinker of all time has replied onto the hallucinatory guidance of dreaming. Not the dream of the sleeper, shut down and flabby. No, the dream I speak of are self-induced, insightful, from a trance, the opening of the subconscious mind when the frontal lobe is distracted. Hypnotism. Sorry. He's talking about self-induced hypnosis. He practices it a lot. It looks a lot like sleeping.
So, maybe you may as well tell me now how you've caused so much mayhem.
I look around to see one of the boxes have burst open when it hit the ground. The contents are scattered among us. I begin to gather them up when Sherlock snatches one out of my hand. The very proof! This, Watson, this is what I'm talking about.
Tins of tuna? What about them?
I've tried to tell him. To you, these may be innocent tins of tuna, but to me they represent the corruption and deceit that is all at the very heart of this godforsaken island and the cults that inhabited it.
This again?
He thinks he's worked it all out. And so I have. If you stop jabbering for one moment and allow me to speak. Watson and I exchange a look of exasperation and allow Sherlock to take center stage. This, he holds up the tin of tuna again, is no ordinary can of fish. It's more like a can of worms. The most curious investigation uncovers that what we really have here is the contraband of two latter-day pirates who plundered the waters of the wider ocean and peddled their ill-gotten gains to unsuspecting merchants on the mainland. I lean close to Watson so Sherlock doesn't overhear me. Joe and
Bob?
Yes. Pirates? Would seem so. Their unscrupulous fishing methods have drawn the attention of world-renowned vigilant environmentalist army. Libri Vert, who have been hounded them across the salty battlefield and forced them to retreat into hiding here within your very cult.
He's gone mental, hasn't he?
I fear so. Here amongst the drug peddlers and the cross-dressers under their protective.
Whoa, hold it there, Sherlock. Say that last bit again.
In spite of your mulish refusal to accept the truth, the caretakers and the security guard, Zane, the very same, cross-dressing? Watson emits a small groan and bows his head. How else do you explain the bottles of nail varnish, perfume, skin cream, the nylon stockings, the size XXL, all flung indiscriminately around the camp, and the abandonment of a cheap burlesque?
Let me stop you right there for one moment, you utter
Putty. Oh, steady.
Not that it would matter one jolt if anyone chose to cross-dress, or that would be any of your business, but just for the sake of accuracy, let me educate you. The nail varnish belonged to a previous research assistant. The stockings are used for in the hope of catching small fish, airborne life forms that might help our research. And as for the cream, that is the mystery that I've been investigating the research since my arrival on this island. The mystery that you, oh great detective, have not been helping with whatsoever.
Ah, now.
Notice, if you will, the word research was used several times in my statement, because I'm a scientist, and in science we do not present a prognosis until we have done the research to uncover significant evidence that lends our finding credibility. There are no facts underpinning your theories, Mr. Holmes, that reduce them to the level of balderdash.
I see the way it is. The truth can be hard to swallow, and with a hurt pride as accompaniment, it may be rather unpalatable. Perhaps, Watson, it would be kind to leave our client to digest the revelations in private.
That's possibly the most incisive idea you've had so far.
And you see on how wrong you've been and how right I am, you will be grateful that I've spared your public humiliation. Watson has gotten to his feet and tugged on Sherlock's coat sleeve. Indeed, my friend, let's go and eat some of this excellent tuna for lunch. And you explain to me how you managed to solve that ticklish conundrum so brilliantly. I stand with my mouth open, watching them leave, not quite believing what I'm hearing, when Watson turned his back to me and winks. It's a small gesture, but it makes everything fall into place. Of course, Watson knows it's nonsense, but he allows Sherlock to believe he's right, simply because he loves his friend and accepts him for who he is. No embarrassment. I feel touched as I bend down to pick the remaining tins of tuna. We could do with a bit more of that in our lives. Oh, jeez. I'm out in the shade. I'm out in the forest looking for some shade in a place where I won't be disturbed. I need to relax. When I finally reach a precious content of the envelope I'm carrying, I feel like I've waited ages and age for this moment. Eventually, I find a clearing with a moss-covered tree stump that looks comfortable enough as I quickly check around to satisfy myself that I'm alone before taking a sleep. When I slowly unpeel the flap of the brown wrapper and pull it out, my issue of Kinkanzi Boy, such a treat. I get some Magna reading time to myself. Just about to start to get into it, I hear rustling coming out from a nearby brush. It's not that sort of sound when the wind makes it ruffles the leaves, more deliberate than that. I look over the bush and the noise suddenly stops abruptly. Almost as soon as I resume reading, it starts again. I try to ignore it and continue my comic, but it is intrusive. I feel like I'm being watched.
Who's there?
The rustling gets louder.
Hello?
I inch my way towards the source of the sound, nervously holding my breath. I reach out my arms to pull the branch aside when something bursts out of the bushes, knocking me sideways.
Kibbles, what on earth are you doing? Were you spying on me?
Picks himself up from the ground, desperately trying to stall it out. Oh, you're here. I haven't noticed. I was just looking for something.
In a bush?
Yeah, I left my... Kibble looks around frantically for something. He locks eyes with an unremarkable, flat-looking pebble. Picks it up triumphantly. My pebble! I left my pebble in this bush. Found it now.
Good. I hate to think what would happen if you lost that.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you doing?
Reading?
I hold up the comic book and emphasize the obvious.
Yeah, I thought
so.
you're very observant, Kibbles.
Oh. So, is that Kankashi Boy?
What?
I'm taken aback.
Yes, it is actually. Do you know it? And more to the point, how do you know it? Yeah, it looks like issue 8. That's right. That's right.
I'm impressed as well as amazed.
Kibbles, how on earth do you know?
Questions are flooding my brain, but I need to play this cool. I don't want him shutting me out. That's an old issue. It looks like he has no intentions of answering my questions, so I try a different tack.
I'm a little behind, so I brought a couple of back issues with me to bring me up to date.
So which version are you reading?
Version? I'm not sure.
It's probably the inferior American translations. You really have to get the original Japanese or the European versions to get all the nuances.
Oh?
It's impossible to truly understand the depth of Fugmiyoshi and Hara's relationship in the version you got.
You're a proper fan then?
Could say that, I guess.
I would love to pick your brain sometime.
What do you want to know?
Does the original version explain how they were able to enter the third chamber together between KITTIES
Cristaldo gets turned into a hog. Oh yeah, that's because she tried to pass through the gate without Isao's approval.
Oh, right, that would make sense.
That bit was cut for some reason. The American version they're selling these days is plebeian trash.
Well, I like it.
Any serious Kanashi boy fan would track down the European translation. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I don't think I'll be able to get those delivered here. I guess I have to make it with the trash version.
I would rather read something else than read that and for your rag.
Fair enough, but I'm still enjoying this.
I start to go back to reading my trash, but Kibbles suddenly springs forth, grabs the comic from my hands and runs off into the undergrowth.
Hey, Kibbles, bring that back.
But he's gone. I wait for a while, not quite believing what he just did. After a few minutes, I lose hope that he's returned. I start packing my things away to head back to camp. Just as I walk away, Kibbles comes crashing through the bush.
Oh, there you are. What was all that about?
I got you something. That's when I notice he's holding a copy of Kakashi Boy issue 8, but it's not my copy. It's the one with the pristine plastic cover. It looks new. Here, this is my copy. The European translation? Original Japanese, actually.
Wow, but how do you understand it? Don't tell me you speak Japanese.
Same. Look, I've made up my own translation. There are pieces of paper tucked between the pages with scrawled writings on them.
How did you manage that?
One of the ones before you, she helped me translate it. One of
the ones before me? What does that mean? A previous assistant?
Want to read this or not? I am far more interested in what he said. You said helps. Kibbles looks at the corner cover of Kinkashi Boy, but I sense he's pretending to be preoccupied. He clearly said more than he intended to, and now he's distancing himself from it.
That would suggest that they're still here?
Where does the circle end? I'm annoyed that he's obviously trying to change the subject. It's a simple question, human. I'm worried that if I push him too far, he'll disappear into the bush, so I play along for now.
Where does the circle end?
He's watching me intently. I get the feeling it's some kind of test.
The circle ends where it begins, probably.
Kibbles looks delighted. Oh, cool, you've read it.
Read what? Sakura?
Sakura?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know that one. But you gave the
right answer.
I have no idea what we're talking about now.
Oh, god damn it. Sukuru by Ishihi Ketsukihi. You haven't read it?
Afraid not. Is it good?
Only the best in this genre.
Which is...
Guro, naturally.
And Guro means?
Gore, of course.
Of course.
I wasn't aware that gore was a whole genre. I realize I'm a bit out of my depth here.
I can lend it to you.
I can lend it to you. I have a copy here. Kibbles looks like he's about to dive back into the bushes.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. That sounds really interesting, but I'm in the middle of Kankanzi, boy.
Oh, wow.
So, dish that and start this. You won't regret it.
I think we're gonna start reading Koru.
Well, normally I would finish the series before starting another, but you really interest me in Sakaru, I must say.
Wait right here. Wait right there. He's gone before I could open my mouth. I am starting to get used to this routine, so I wait patiently. He's back within seconds.
That was quick. Where do you keep the stuff?
I could tell you, but...
Then you would have to kill me?
Whoa, slow down, JJ. It's a bit too soon to start finishing each other's sentences.
JJ?
Jesse James Murphy told me all about him. Fastest draw in the Wild West. And suddenly he leaps down with pretend paw guts, pewing until he's been shot, and acts out an elaborate stagger fall death scenario, which he's back on his feet in a heartbeat, pointing at the comic he placed in my hand. Yeah, it's universally agreed that it's the grossest magnet out there. Kibbles grins as though that's a positive thing. I look at the glossy cover and feel my interest peaked.
This doesn't look like the sort of thing I usually pick up in the comic shop, but I'm certainly intrigued. Great!
You're gonna love the bit where Kira's mom stabs her own eyes out because...
Kibbles! Spoilers!
Oh, who cares about spoilers? It feels totally different when you see it with the artwork.
I don't want you to tell me any part of the story, Kibbles. It doesn't matter if it feels different.
Okay, but just remember one thing. Kibbles, if this is a spoiler, I'm going to be very upset. The circle ends back where it begins. Kibbles! I can't tell if that's an actual spoiler, but I still feel indignant. He holds up his paws defensively. What? You said it yourself.
That was a lucky guess. What does it mean anyway?
It's the secret password for Sakura fans to help identify each other. The Magnica made it up herself. Like the Mason's secret...
Like the Mason's secret handshake?
Yeah, probably.
You don't know what the Masons are, do you, Kibbles?
It's a boy band or something?
Close enough.
We should make our own secret handshake. You know, in case someone tries to infiltrate our Magna Club.
Good idea, Kibs. We don't want anyone to get their mittens on our intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you hold out your fist in a fist formation, and I do this. Kibble sprays his paw out, says he's going to scratch me, but pushes his metal carpal pad into my knuckles, and it feels very strange.
That's great, Kibs. Really unique.
Yeah, so, anyway, I've got stuff to be getting on with. Important business stuff. I had to catch you later, human. I feel a bit taken aback by a sudden change in mood. Oh.
Okay, Kibbles. I'll get on with this Magna then we can discuss it soon. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. See you around. Oh, wow. He will... Pew pew. He will whip you later. I sit down on the tree stump to get sucked into my new comic when I hear... Fill your hands, you son of a gun! I look up, see Kibbles has crept around to the far side of the tree to ambush me. I spring into action, fall into my knees, begin behind the tree stump.
You wouldn't shoot an unarmed cowboy now, would you, you yellow-billed snake?
He momentarily lowers his paws. What? I seize my opportunity.
Pew, pew, gotcha!
I shoot my finger guns at him. Nuh-uh, I dodged. Kibbles jumps into a roll and shoots his paw gun at me.
Oh no, you've got me. Oh, I can't believe this is how it all ends.
I grab a chest and stagger onto the floor, doing a very good performance, if I do say so myself. That's what you get when you mess with the sass slinger. I dart my head up. The
what?
Oh, nothing.
What did you just call yourself?
I didn't say anything.
The sass slinger?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're boring me, human. I'm gonna go now. No, I mean, that's cool. I want a name too. Kibbles looks surprised. I get off the floor and dust myself down.
How about the sass slinger and his sidekick, the banter bomb?
Banter bomb? Banner bomb?
Yeah.
That's really embarrassing.
Well, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you, Kibbles. It's been so much fun.
See you around, Bance. He blows his imaginary gun smoke from each of his little paws and swaggers off into a bush. I feel childishly happy.
Pew pew.
So bad, yeah. get some extra research in. I'd rather take DIY over medicine. Alright. I'm writing in my journal. I've developed a habit of getting up early and writing for 30 minutes each morning before beginning my day. I'm often so tired at the end of the day that I just want to fall into bed and my journal gets neglected. I also feel like a way it grounds me before the strange island sucks me into the adventure of a new day. This morning, my concentration is being broken by a very odd noise. Suddenly realized the sound of someone trying to knock on my tent flap.
Hello?
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. I recognize the voice belonging to Mr. Marigold, the island's caretaker.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Marigold.
I spring to greet him.
Can I help you? I would invite you in, but,
I indicate the chaos of my tiny tent. Barely any room to swing a cat, I know. I laugh at his jokes, but notice his deadpan expression and realize he's serious. I quickly move on, stepping outside.
Is there something I could help you with?
I hope so.
And what would that be?
Miss Marigold has taken to her bed, properly safe. She is, so the boss says I should ask you to fill in for her today, if that's alright. I know the professor well enough by now to understand that I don't actually have a choice. I'm filling in for Mrs. Marigold today, whether it's alright with me or not. Actually, I'm quite intrigued.
Great!
I mean,
Sorry to hear that your wife's
poorly. Nothing serious, I hope.
But I'm happy to spend some time with you, Mr. Marigold.
Ooh. Well, best make an early start then. You get your shoes on, I'll meet you at the jetty. Before I say another word, he disappears off to the water. Quickly put my journal back in the hidey hole and grab my backpack with the field kit in it before stuffing my feet into my trainers. When I arrive at the jetty, I see Mr. Marigold has already started working mending the wooden rails where a couple of the posts were damaged in the recent storm.
How can I help?
Just pass me those pins. As I go along, I need to reinforce this, then recoat it with preservatives. I'm a bit disappointed.
Just so you know, I could use a hammer too. If you have a spare, we'd get this mending much quicker if the two of us were working on it.
There's no rush. Oh, no, I suppose not. You're here with me for the whole day anyway. Oh, I didn't mean that, actually. I'm pleased for the opportunity to break out a bit. Try something different. Bored of this place already? He squints sideways at me.
No, not at all. There's so much going on here. I haven't even begun to uncover half of this island has to offer. I mean, I just meant that it's nice to have a chance to get to know someone new. A company in short supply here.
Human company. He mumbles it half under his breath, so I'm not certain he even said it.
I beg your pardon?
You seem to be getting along with the cats, though, eh?
Oh, yes. I'm spoiled for a choice of feline friends.
Be careful with that. I stop and look back at him, holding my gaze.
What do you mean?
Be careful with those pins. You're gonna have them over the edge in a minute. I look down and see that in not paying attention, I have kicked the box precariously close to the edge of the jetty. Closer to the edge than you thought? I have a feeling we're not just talking about the box of nails.
Yes, I wasn't paying attention. I looked in the wrong direction. That's where we miss the things right under our noses that could cause problems. Mr. Marigold?
Is that what we were doing? Stand up now, looking directly in each other's eyes.
Do you know something that I ought to know?
Such as?
Well, obviously, I don't know. I know that
you're an inquisitive little blighter.
Have you been watching me, Mr. Marigold?
Keeping an eye might be more accurate of way of putting it.
Well, thank you, I think.
You're welcome. But I wouldn't be so quick to trust people if I were you. You don't know me or my intentions. And he suddenly lets out a roar of laughter and gets back to work.
I have a feeling you're one of the good guys, Mr. Marigold.
Call me Mason. I hand him pins and we say no more, but as I go over our conversation in our head, I realize those beautiful words before. Some very like them. The nameless message in my catalog, be careful of who you trust, and it hits me. Mr. Marigold is my messenger. Mr. Marigold is the messenger. The issue of Kakanzi Boy is super tattered. What has Kibbles been doing with it? Using it as a scratching post? I grab the mini hot iron, some sticky tape. I get to work neatering it. I iron each page flat and folding the bent over corners, lining up the tears and patching them together, and slowly work out meticulously. It's surprisingly therapeutic. After about an hour, I sit back and admire my work. I'm quite proud of the end result. Not quite good as new, but definitely carefully pre-loved. I reread the issue delicately, appreciating every flaw. I think I shall rename this one KITTIES Boy. Oh my god, my Japanese is horrible. Spoilers, I know. I wonder if there's any more Sherlock. No. Kibbles. I had a busy morning today, so I'm rewarding myself with a longer lunch break. I used the extra time to return what has become my favorite reading spot in the forest, to finish Sakaru. Kibbles was right, it's fantastic. I'm enjoying it. So much more than I expected to. Not usually a fan of manga that is excessively bloody. My taste tends to be more benign. This was an exception. The gore was so relevant to the individual characters and the overarching stories that made it feel entirely justified. I read the final page, closes the issue, and exhale loudly. What an ending. I could hardly believe that the main character died. It's too sad, yet completely authentic. I can't see why anyone could have escaped a situation like that. My thoughts are interrupted by the sound of rustling nearby. I open my eyes. Hey, Kibbles. Kibbles tumbles out of the bushes again. He's holding an adorable little satchel, which is shaped like a penguin. Hello again, Manda. Have you read Shikaru, then?
Yes, I just finished it now. It was so disturbing, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, the blood horror bits are epic.
You want it back?
I hand Kibbles the comic book. He examines it closely, clearly looking for any signs of damage or wear. After a while, he seems satisfied. He opens the satchel and hands me it and carefully places it inside. At the same time, he takes out 3 more comics and presents them to me. You should try these now. They're on another level. If you want to be taken seriously, you've got to read them. I struggled to understand who I would be trying to get to take me seriously. I give up.
Okay, great. What do you have for me?
First, this is Hokoroshi. Roshi. It's about 2 kids who find a puppet that let him control his parents. Then this one's called The Hungry Sparrow. The artwork is sick. This one's called there's this character called the Icebreaker. He's a huge polar bear. And this last one is Kokushi Zero Sombom. Yeah, it's probably my favorite.
Oh wow, Kichio Sombai.
You've heard of it? I've read it.
I've read it.
There we go. It's awesome, isn't it?
Well,
I actually couldn't stomach it, but I don't know how well Kibbles would take that.
yes, it's very unusual.
I know, right? Totally groundbreaking. I searched my mind frantically for the synonyms for unusual.
Definitely singular.
Singular? I mean striking. Yeah, so which was your favorite bit?
Ah, well, it's hard to choose. It was all so unique.
I'm kicking myself for not just telling the truth. I hate it. Yeah, but what about the bit where Megumi sews her own mouth shut with a rusty needle? My stomach churns at the memory of the vivid artwork. And the maggots. I almost forgotten
about the maggots. So many maggots.
We should reread it together. Refresh your memory. It's a while since I read it too, but I remember everything totally. I have a photographic memory. I get the feeling like I'm not the only one who's telling fibs.
Actually, I'd rather read something else with you. Something that neither of us have read before, maybe.
No.
Why not?
There's nothing I'd rather read than the Master KOS.
KOS?
Kibbles doubles down with laughter and is literally rolling around on the floor. I feel excluded from the joke in embarrassment.
What's so funny? You thought I said cause? You did, actually.
Nuh-uh. I said K-O-S. I realized too late that he's mean Kikuchi somebody. My pride is hurt. I think it was because I was trying to please him by pretending to like what he likes. Now I see that he's not going to offer the same sensitivity to me. Okay, Kibbles, I should be getting back to work now. Can I still borrow the other two? Well, I'm beginning to wonder if you're ready for them. I'm now feeling very irritable.
Whatever, I have to go now.
I'm about to leave when he relents. Here, he holds out the comics. It might do you some good to read them, but you know the drill.
I will protect them with my life.
Yes. He holds my gaze and slowly walks backwards. You will. Then he disappears into the bush. It's been a few days since Kibbles lent me his comic. Although I devoured them in the first night, I've been so busy with work that I haven't had time to return them yet. I'm dying to talk to him about it. So today I've cleared my deck enough to spend a couple of hours with him. I was waiting in our usual spot when the nearby brush begins to rustle.
Hi, Kibbles, you there?
No answer.
I brought your comic book back.
Still nothing. I know he's there. He must be playing the game, so I decided to play along. Oh, what a shame Kibbles isn't here.
So I started asking about the
I so want to ask him about the hungry sparrow. He's so clever, he would know why Danako broke the mirror at all at the end. Kibbles falls out of the brushes. Obviously, she's just clumsy.
Really? I figured out that was a metaphor of her fractured self-image. A metaphor?
Yes, because... A metaphor? Yes, because...
Because her heart was broken when
Ryoji fell in battle. Oh, of course, that goes without saying. I just felt bad that the interpretation is kind of tired. Really? What would your
interpretations be then?
I think it might be too complex for you. Let's talk about something else.
What you want to talk about?
I'm starving. There's no proper food around here. I eye the plump British long-haired skeptically.
Well, I've got a tin of tuna back at the base camp if you want it. I could easily...
No, that's not proper food. Gross, I'm talking about proper food. Chocolate, chips, pizza. Have you got any of those? No,
Kibbles, I don't.
But you know how to get them.
Where are you implying, Kibbles? I just can't walk into the mess tent, steal armfuls of food in the middle of the day.
Exactly. Meet me outside the mess tent at sundown. Bring a backpack and a torch.
Oh, Kibbles, I don't like the sound of this.
If you don't help me, I'll just have to do it myself. I shudder at the thought of Kibbles being let loose in the mess tent without supervision.
Well, okay, Kibbles, I'll meet you. But only if you promise to be super stealthy.
My stealth abilities are second to none. I'm a black belt in KITTIES. I really hope so, Kibs, because we're gonna have to be super ninjas tonight. Bank. I've come to the mess tent a little before sundown, hoping to apprehend Kibbles in case he tries to stealthily barge in without me. I finally spot him stalking in the distance, using his tail to brush away any paw prints he's leaving behind. He's taking this too seriously. My heart sinks to realize on how disappointed he'll be when I exclaim that we can't actually rob the mess tent of all of its treats.
Hey, kids.
Senpai. Senpai, I have to restrain myself from doing an air grab. What the fuck, cat? I like that. I just wanted to say it's an honor to raid alongside you tonight.
Yes, well, about that, Kibbles.
I promise, I won't let you down. Oh no, why is he being so nice?
Well, actually, I don't think this is such a good idea after all.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I was thinking about it. Maybe it would be a step too far to raid the mess tent for spoils.
Are you joking? You've changed your mind? Do you think I'm not up to the test? Is that it? You look so hurt. I feel really crummy. It's not you, Kibbles. I would gladly heat up a pizza and make a salad to go with it, but I don't think it's a good idea to take any more than that. Kibbles looks at me with disbelief. Did you just say the word salad?
I did. I'm sorry. But this is a really bad idea, Kibbles. Not only could it get me fired, but it could get you sick if you ate a lot of sugar and flour. I don't want that. I don't want to be responsible for that.
It seems I was wrong about you. I thought you were heroic. I thought you were cool. This really strikes a nerve. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know whether to listen to my head or my heart. Pizza party. Kibbles called me senpai. I cannot let that be for nothing. Kibbles, I
am heroic. I am cool. Very cool. Let's raid.
Kibbles does a little happy dance and fires invisible paw guns into the air. Are you sure everyone's gone to bed? Yes.
Yes, except Zane. He's doing rounds. He's on the other side of the island right now, which gives us about 15 minutes.
This is so cool. It's like a proper real-life loot run.
But you'll have to keep your voice down, Kibbles. Marigolds are doing their cleaning rounds in that tent, just over there.
So stop talking, because now we only have 14 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh, this is so cute.
We crept into the kitchen area, which is easy as the whole thing is open planned. I make a start by grabbing a pizza from the freezer and putting it into the microwave to cook. Next, I grab the store cabinet key from the usual place on the hook next to the sink. The security is not exactly high-tech.
It doesn't need to be. We're on an island. We all get fed. Who would want to steal food?
Duh! My backpack is over-slipping with loot. I'm struggling to zip it up. Point taken, but
this is different. This isn't real food. This is the monthly treat rations.
Monthly? Then what do you eat all day?
Well, vegetables, mostly. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, Amanda. What?
Never mind, hurry up. We only have 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. As if on cue, the microwave pings. I grabbed the hot boxes and we're off. So, this is your place, huh? We're sitting on my bed, finishing the last of the pizza.
Yep, this is my crib.
Never say that word again. I covered my embarrassment by tipping the contents of my rucksack on the bed between Kibbles and me. His eyes widen at the sight of our plunder. Oh man, there's even more than I thought. He stuffs his mouth with a marshmallow and a jelly bean. There's a little tear in his eye. It's been so long. This is the best night of my life. Kibbles and I gorge ourselves on junk food until we can barely move. Thank you for today, Amanda. I really needed this.
I don't feel so good.
Uh-oh. Did you eat too much? I clamber out of my tent, hoping that the fresh air would stop me from feeling sick. By the time I return to the tent, Kibbles is gone. Also has the loot. I haven't seen Kibbles since our pizza party the other night. I want to make sure that he didn't overdo it once he left my tent. I am approaching the clearing near the bushes he likes to hide in.
Kibbles, are you there?
No answer.
Kibbles!
The bush sneezes. I know you're
in there, Kibbles. You just sneezed.
Still no answer. Kibbles...
If you don't come out here, I'm coming in to get you.
Kibbles lazily rolls out of the bushes. Oh, hi, Amanda. I didn't hear you coming.
Kibbles, are you avoiding me?
No, I've just been really busy. I pull a sticky sweet wrapper out of his long fur.
Yes, I can see that. Is everything okay? I've been worried about you. You left so quickly the other night.
Well, I figured the night was over. You were about to lose your gut outside. Then you would be pleased
to know that I was not sick. Was not in fact sick. I did feel terrible all night though. What were we thinking?
What were you thinking, you mean? I happen to know my limit. Except that you
were sick on the way home, weren't you? How
did you know about that? I didn't
until just now.
It was worth it. We should do that again.
Not with me, you won't. So what's been keeping you away?
I've been working on my project. Project? What's that? Just my latest comic.
Comic? You made one? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been writing one. Been working on it for ages. You're the first person I've told it about.
Well, I'm honored. Tell me more. What's it about? Can I see it?
It's about a lot of stuff. You could have it, actually.
Really?
Kibbles hands me a stack of papers covered with crude markings held together with tape and staples.
Oh, it's nice.
It's just the first draft. That'll be worth loads to the right collector.
Yeah, the artwork is quite avant-garde.
I was worried that being a cat would limit my artistic abilities, but I'm obviously a savant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And well, it has a unique smell, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to get pens and paints out here, so I had to get pretty creative. Something tells me I'd rather not know too much about his creative techniques. Thank you.
Thank you for this, Kibbles. I'll read it as soon as I get back to base.
Yeah, well, it's pretty complex. You may not get everything on your first read through. I look at the scratchings, paw prints, the splatters that make up the page on this rare first edition.
No doubt. Maybe once I read it, we can go through it together.
Yeah, okay. You'll probably need my help.
Right. I'll go make a start then. Thanks again, Kibbles. It's really sweet.
Recon 14. Cool. Saving. I think we're gonna sleep. You have a lovely nap and feeling well revitalized. Your energy has been restored. Magic. Recon or romance? I think we're gonna go for romance.
Meow.
I'm sitting out of my tent, trying to do my best to make sense of Kibble's comic I'm desperately hoping for something, anything at all, that I'll understand and make enough to talk to him about. It's no use. Just, I'm giving up. I see Kibbles approaching from the forest.
Kibbles, what are you doing here?
I figured you had finished my comic by now and you're ready to go through it with me.
Oh yeah, sure. It was complicated, like you said.
I knew you wouldn't get it. Okay.
Okay, I'll be honest. I really don't understand very much at all.
Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Kibble sits down next to me and flips the comic open on the first page. It's semi-autobiographical. My memoirs, if you will, from what I can remember anyway. This page is about my parents. Kibbles points out to a pair of red paw prints. This is my early memories. My mom and dad sitting together while I play in the garden. Turns page. This one just has a red paw print on it. Money was tight, so mom worked a bit of overtime. It was just me and dad most of the time. The next bit is about when I started high school. The page is chaotic. Bright smudges and scratches cover every inch. I really didn't fit in at high school. Kibbles gestures at the page with a big scratch from top to bottom. This is the day where Troy started pushing me around. Look at this bit. A thick black substance covered the paper. I am worried of what it might signify. Alright, bye. Yeah, bye. This is my happiest memory, sitting alone by myself in my room reading comics. Kibbles flips more to a more colorful page. This is when Dad started taking me to the comic store after school. It was like a whole new world for me. I lost interest in the commercial stuff and started feeling lamestream. It started feeling lamestream to me. I discovered Magnus. It was much more on my level, way more intellectual. Kibbles turns the page explaining the significance of Magna he read and how it shaped him and helped him escape from his problems. Kibbles, I think this is great, the way that you're opening up to me. It's a real privilege.
Kibbles, I think this is great, the way that you're opening up to me. It's a real privilege.
Suppose. I thought about it a lot and wonder if I should ask. Ask what?
Were you originally human? I mean, were you catified?
He lowers the comic and looking at me with an expression of incredulity.
I can't believe
you just asked me that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you don't have to answer.
Are you actually joking? This whole comic's about my transition and stuff. What were you reading? If I wasn't originally human, how could I have a magnet collection that would make any otaku proud? How could I be able to read it even? Yes,
of course I know. I just mean, I was asking more on how it happened. How, when, where, that stuff.
His eyes fixed back on the page. Can't tell you.
Too soon?
Well, obviously not. We're looking at my entire existence here. I feel a little foolish. I just can't remember, only bits, but it keeps getting less, like it's fading in the sun. I feel his frustration and direct back to the safety of reading.
It's okay. This is great. It documents everything.
He finally turns to the last spread, the one I've been avoiding as the pages were stuck together. Pries them apart carefully, not to tear or anything. It's a type of collage. Use bits of chewed up plants to stake down the various objects. Amongst the colorful markings, there's a panel for my copy of Kakashi Boy, some sweet wrappers, and in the center is an unremarkable pebble, the one that Kibble claimed he was looking for the first night we met in the clearing. It is blue and green. It has a blue and green paw print on it.
Kibbles, this is beautiful.
This page is about you.
Me?
Yeah, well, us.
Us? What about us?
You, me, our story.
You wrote a story about us?
No, the story that we are, that is, I want.
Take your time, Kibbles. Count to 10. Use your words.
I'm not a kid. Don't patronize me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I was trying to help.
It's just confusing. I don't know what to say because I don't know what I feel.
About what? About
this. Kibbles angrily jabs at the comic with his claw until it hooks into the paper and he can't unstick himself. Do you need help, or I really don't want to be patronizing? Kibble finally tears his paw free and looks directly in the eye and blurts out one word. Love. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure I even fully heard him correctly, but I am frightened to ask him to repeat himself, so I take a punt. Love?
love?
Maybe.
Kibbles, I may be a very clever scientist, but I can't read minds. You're gonna have to tell me what it is you're trying to say.
Maybe. I might have that love feelings, possibly for you, I think. Oh. I had feelings for you too. Well, that's good.
Well, that's good.
Is it? Yes, because maybe I might have love feelings possibly for you, I think, too.
You might? I do.
Yes, I do. Definitely, I think. Kibbles looks like he doesn't quite know what to do next, so I bend over and we share an affectionate nuzzle. He purrs loudly, then bites my arm and runs away.
Oi, where do you think you're going?
I chase him through the forest. Wow. No. Achievement. Recon 14. I'm laying my tent looking at the comic Kibbles made. It's really a heartwarming thing. He put a lot of effort into it. As I'm looking, I notice something behind the color. Notice something behind the colors. It looks like Kibble might have painted over something he found. I can just about make a signature in the lower right corner. The more I squint, more I believe it's Professor Palper. I wonder what this used to be. Suppose it would be possible to clean off the paint and see what's underneath, but I can't bring myself to do that. Maybe there's something at the lab that I could use to see without destroying the artwork. I arrive at the lab just after dark when I'm guaranteed to have the place by myself. There's a portable x-ray machine in the back. We use it to examine bones of the cats after changing their diet. It has a light box attached to it so we can see the x-rays properly. This piece of equipment I'm hoping will reveal the secrets under Kibble's work of art. I laid the comic out on top of the light box so I could see the image quite clearly underneath the paint. It's a letter. Dear Jonathan, firstly I would like to wish you and Martha a very happy new year. I understand your concerns of the recent closure of our account at your cat farm may indeed negatively impact your business. I can assure you this decision was not taken lightly, and I would like to take some time to personally thank you and your family for help in providing us with cats over the years. From your last letter, it's clear you don't fully understand our reasoning. The traditional method of farming cats has, as you pointed out, have been perfectly acceptable for many years. However, recent advantages in technology that our team has employed, meaning that we are able to produce cats at a far greater scale and that much more quickly than the traditional methods. Our offshore facility can produce 100 cats in a time it would take you to rear 10. I would, however, like to repeat our offer of a job in the offshore nursery. Your family has been assisted in this company for many years. We would like to show your loyalty and appreciation. Please do consider this offer seriously. Warm wishes and season's greetings from Professor Palper and team. An offshore cat breeding facility. We have an island overrun with cats right here. Why would we need... Before I can even answer the question in my mind, I know what the answer is. The island is the offshore facility. Professor Palper was keeping it well under wraps. I look back at Kibble's sweet picture and wonder how on earth he had this letter in his possession. Slowly another thought begins to force its way into my consciousness. What if Jonathan and Martha accepted the offer that was made to them and came to work on the island? What if they brought their young son with them? Could this be Kibble's parents? I decide to respect Kibble's privacy and keep this information to myself. He may not remember any of this, and I do not want to distress him. Huh. I arrived at the lab a little later than usual. I got held up in a incredibly important task of petting all the cats on the way. As I enter, I see a large unmarked wooden box on the table. Good morning, Professor. I wasn't expecting you to be working inside me today. I'm afraid I'm actually rather in a hurry. I need you to explain the new protocol I'd like to carry out for me. Open the lidded crate. Inside the row of small clear bottles, each container a white fluid. What's this, milk?
What's this, milk?
No, they're samples from our offshore labs. Samples of what? So many questions, curiosities as marvel traits for a scientist. Now I want you to run some test on these. I want you to check how they respond to contacts with compounds 16, 18, and 24. I noticed that how deftly he evaded my question. Once you've done that, provide there are no more complications, I need you to apply samples to some of the cats and record the results. I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon?
Apply the samples to the cats, Amanda. We're looking for a specific reaction. Of course, sir. But I want to have a little more information before I start applying an untested product to a living subject. Look, Amanda, I understand your concerns, of course. However, once in a while, one has to trim the red tape, and this is one of those occasions. Now, I'm really in the most awful rush, my dear, but I have complete faith in you. And suddenly, I'm alone. I pick up one of the samples. I look at the miniature milk bottle, and the fluids inside is creamier than milk. I retrieve the compounds from the cabinet. What the professor wanted me to test, I've spent some time combining them with the samples. From what I can tell, the compounds are some kind of organic material, but no one has told me what they came from or what they actually are. I look at them under a microscope, one by one, and add a little of the samples. It's a bit like glue, and it's hard to get to combine, but once I do, something odd happens. All the dead cells make up the compound start moving excitedly. They aren't come back to life exactly, but they're behaving like living cells. I have no idea what the stuff is or is intended for, but I do know that I feel uncomfortable applying it to living subjects. I look at the cats in their cages. They look back with trusting eyes. If I refuse, I get shot. That I do remember. So we're gonna administer. Suppose I have no choice. Professor will fire me if I don't do the job I was hired to do, to stay professional and be attached. He's one of the crates and retrieve Muffin, slightly plumped Persian. He starts purring as soon as I touch her. She's a little older than the older cats and loves the attention. I hope this stuff doesn't harm her. I set her down on the counter and get a little of the sample, apply it gently to one of her legs. She seems a bit put out, but she's still purring. That's a good sign. I wait about 20 minutes, nothing happens. Hopefully another good sign. I apply a little bit more to the back of her neck this time. I feel really uncomfortable doing this without any recommended dosage or guidelines. Flying blind against all of my training to date, but I have faith that the professor knows what he's doing. This is his project after all. After another 20 minutes, I don't notice anything physical, though Muffins does seem a little bit more energetic than usual. She's happily chasing my pen across the counter. I wrestled the pen out of her grip and make some notes of my observation and place her gently back in her crate. I decide to spend the night in the lab. I don't want to leave her alone just in case anything happens, but by 4 a.m., Muffin is sleeping soundly. I can't keep my eyes open any longer, so I head back to my tent. Research 8. God bless. I've come to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning I noticed another change in my appearance. Until now, it's been easier to cover up my transition. I had to keep top removing an excess body hair. Even the stubborn tail appearing a few days ago, that hasn't been a problem. Who would see it? But this new development is definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils haven't turned into a vertical slit? I'm not risking anyone to see me like this, so I'm gonna hide out for a while and see what happens. Sometime later, I'm looking around. I don't remember ever being happier. I lie here in the forest with Kibbles, reading the new edition of Kanzi Boy.
Are you ever gonna tell me how you managed to get a hold of these books?
Yeah, I could.
Really? Finally?
But then I would have to kill you.
Yeah.
We're interrupted by the familiar sound of the ferry arriving at the pier. It appears that my replacement has already arrived. That must be the new research assistant. Want to go and annoy them? Kibbles never gets tired of being Kibbles.
No, you go if you like. I'm just gonna have a nap in a minute.
Yeah, me too. It's hard work, all this reading. There was a time I would have thought he was being ridiculous, but these days I have to agree. It's the pages. Turning pages is surprisingly taxing with pause. I feel so lucky that that's the only thing I have to complain about. My life is really charmed. I know now that I've made the right decision. It used to worry me. I feel guilty about giving my work up on the antidote. I resist the urge to join Kibbles and the rest of the gang for as long as possible. I think some part of me will always give in eventually. Now I have no regrets. None of the other cats blame me. They're happy for Kibbles and I. We're one big family. Want to go cliff hopping together after sleeps offs?
I'm happy to do whatever you want, Kibs. Really? Of course.
Okay, give me making biscuits massage while I fall asleep, would you? I roll over and open one eye to see Kibbles has the broadest grin on his face. I swish him away with my tail and drift off into a blissful sleep. Chapter 4 is completed. And that's where we will stop for this section.